Chris Souders, Slender Cat Outdoors, back with you again this evening. And we are, okay, we just live now, so I've done that a little bit too early. Come on in, honey. Come on. All right. Hey, everybody, thank you for joining us tonight. Chris Souders, Slender Cat Outdoors, coming to you live. We are in the house tonight. It is super cold outside. The winter has finally come, but you can take them off. I got my baby girl here. Say hi. Hi. But anyway, I want to get started tonight with a quick shout out to Callie Hutchison. Her and her grandfather are super big fans of the show, and they watch every weekend. And we're not going to put those on. And she just loves watching catfishing with our show, my show, and Steve's show, and some other shows. And she always enjoys watching with her grandfather, Clarence Payton. So if you guys are watching tonight, I want to thank you guys for watching. It's a great pleasure for you guys to be here and join and listen in. And can you say hi to Callie? Hi. Hi. And are you going to go back and watch dinosaurs? Okay. Tell everybody bye. Bye-bye. All right. So, anyway, I'll go back inside. So we got a visitor with us all night tonight, which is fun. And so anyway, we're going to get started tonight with our questions from last week. And tonight, we're going to start with Shane Dunn. He asked, what is my absolute go-to flathead, and blue catfish rig and styles that I like to fish for them. And obviously there's two different styles, two different rigs. But to start with, we'll start with flatheads and then we'll go to blue cats. Flatheads, we are, we got fishy lips. Oh, that's awesome. But anyway, on the flathead rig, it is going to be just a basic Carolina rig. Slip sinker, 18 to 20 inches leader line, 8-aught Diachi hook on the end. Why don't you go in there and see mommy? Okay, go see mommy. Please.
Hi kids, Harley here. Gonna take over Chris's feet while he's gone. He had to go take the little girl and get her put up. Back to Chris.
Oh, sorry for the interruption. She's not feeling real great tonight. But anyway, to get back to Mr. Dunn's question on my favorite flathead rig, or my go-to flathead rig, it is a Carolina rig, slip sinker, barrel swivel or crane swivel, mind you, 18 inches leader line, down to a 8-aught Diachi or 7-aught Diachi hook. Now, my go-to style of flathead fishing is 100% anchor fishing. Not that that's not the only way you can catch them, but that is the best success rate that I've always had if there's current. If there's not current, then things are a little bit different, and they are super, super hard to get to bite because they're not stuck in that structure as much as if there is current. So moving on, my go-to blue cat rig is going to be a double hook Kentucky rig. You guys have asked a lot of questions about it, wanting up close videos about it. And in case you guys didn't notice, I got somebody here with me tonight, Mr. Harley Neal. He's been in the chat a lot. He's a super good friend of mine, a neighbor, and he's going to come over and help out with the question issues that we was having as far as me not being able to read fast enough, because you guys are super fast in chat, which I like. I appreciate everybody commenting and helping each other out with questions and things like that. But so he's going to help tonight, and that way we can get some more stuff answered. But anyway, the Kentucky rig, you guys have been asking a lot of questions, wanting up close videos. So I'm going to have Harley help me out this week sometime and get a real good up close video for you guys, and hopefully have it out for the first video viewer Friday. This coming Friday. So we're going to try to get that pinned out and down pat for you guys by Friday. So be looking for that. But anyway, go-to Kentucky, or my go-to blue cat rig is the double hook Kentucky rig, okay? And many reasons that I love that, that rig. 2 different depths. Your sinker's going to be hitting the bottom as you're drifting, which is my favorite way to blue catfish, is always moving, especially in the spring, summer, or anytime that water temperature really is above 50, 55 degrees. I start moving to try to locate those fish. Blue cats are wanderers, and they just kind of meander, all over the bottom, and they don't hold the structure like flathead catfish do. So moving is, you're going to target a lot more of those fish, and you're going to keep your success rate up higher by moving. Now in the wintertime for blue cats, it's going to be anchor fishing, and once again, go back to double hook rig and Carolina rig. Those 2 rigs right there are always going to be my go-to rigs just about for every single thing that I do, unless we go to a specific place that requires a specific rig. Say Mississippi, be bumping, Santee Cooper, you'd be dragging, Wheeler Lake, be dragging, things like that. So moving on, was there any questions as far as that goes?
Yeah, Nathan Fleming actually asked, what's your go-to rig in heavy cover, if you fish that any differently than you just normal fishing?
What was his name?
Nathan Fleming.
Nathan Fleming. As far as it goes for heavy cover, there's not going to be a whole bunch of different things. Something that I might change is I may go to a 3-way style of rig instead of a Carolina rig, but I really, really like that Carolina rig. It, especially for flatheads, it gives me the opportunity to let that fish feel as little resistance as it possibly can, while he's down there, mouthing at the bait. So he doesn't feel that sinker and, the weight or any resistance that is on that. So, but now in the springtime, you can definitely get away with 3-way rigs, and you can all year, but there are certain times, and I've had a lot better success rate by using just the sinker slide than I have with a 3-way, unless it's springtime where they're just eating and eating and eating. So, any more questions on the?
Not so much a question as a statement. As Clarence Payton said, Callie said to tell you thanks.
Awesome,
She enjoyed
awesome.
the
I'm glad, Clarence, that you and Callie are watching. I greatly appreciate you and everybody else that is on this live feed. And I can't stress that enough. And where's it at? For everybody that is on this live feed, I did not advertise this because I don't want people to come to the live feed because they're trying to get something free. I want to give you guys that are loyal viewers that are coming because you want to learn anything that you can about this. Tonight we're going to give away before you can buy it, Slunger Cat Silver and Black. It's the one I'm wearing. We're going to give that away tonight. And we're also going to be giving away a catfish flag and some Slunger Cat decals. So
You're not giving those away; those are mine.
these are ours. But anyway, we're going to be giving those away, and like I said, I didn't advertise that because I want the people that are here to learn to have a chance to get that stuff, and I don't want to gain subscribers because I'm giving a bunch of stuff away. That's not how I work. So next, Major Brown, he asks, offset, can too much offset decrease your hookup? Major Brown, whenever it comes to offset and how much you should offset your hook, if you should offset your hook, I'm a firm believer in having a hook offset, okay? But I am a firm believer in letting somebody that knows what is in the hook, what the hook is made of, do that process for me instead of me doing it myself. If I bend it myself, I don't know exactly how far I'm bending it, how much pressure I'm putting on one point of the hook, am I bending it in the right place every time? those little factors to me make a difference. So, whenever it comes to looking at a hook and whether it's offset or it's not offset, if once again, I highly recommend an offset hook. And as you guys can see, this hook is not offset a major amount. And that's what I would recommend, just past the shank of the hook, okay? But I want you to understand that I'm not gonna highly recommend you go grab hooks and start bending them. It does work. A lot of people do it. A lot of people bend them, both ways or another. But these hooks, every hook is different. Every hook's going to have a different amount of carbon and sulfur and all the materials that whatever they're made of in it. And some hooks are going to be harder than others. Some are going to be softer. So the way that you bend that hook can ultimately affect how easy it breaks. And I just can't recommend somebody bend a hook and then take a chance on losing a big fish whenever you can buy hooks that are offset. Okay, so I highly recommend, if you want an offset hook, get a Diachi, try them, or another brand of hook that is offset. Okay. Next, let's see. I got notes tonight. Last week I left a bunch of information out that I wanted to tell you guys about what we was talking about last week, and I didn't. So this week I actually took some notes instead of trying to remember everything. Stonefly71 asks, what three-way swivels do you use, and why do you use the ones you do? The differences with three-way swivels. Okay, there's not a whole bunch of differences, with three-way swivels. You basically have, a couple different kinds. You have the, crane, the two barrel crane swivels put together into a three-way. And then you have different variations of this too. You may have these may be the brass bowl style, or just regular roller style, but these are crane. And then you just have the old style of three-way. So we'll start with some of the old style of three-way, okay? And these were used for, I used these for many years, and they're strong, but what I want to stress is, if I want my main line to be in line with my sinker line or my leader line or whatever, whether you're back bouncing or whatever, you cannot get a direct pull or a direct connection with that, okay? Because everything is in a triangle form. Where with this style of three-way, I can always change my direction, rather depending on the style of fishing I'm doing. If I want my main line to be right in line with my hook or my sinker, whichever way I want it, I have a direct connection, so I can feel everything, and that makes a big difference as well. Another major factor of why I use this style versus this style is just the simple fact that these are going to get tangled up more than this, okay? And anytime that you're tangled, if you were fishing on the bottom 30 foot down, you don't know whether your bait is where it needs to be, and you don't know if you're effectively fishing whatever you're wanting to fish, okay? Now, whenever it comes to any swivel, and this doesn't matter if it's a three-way swivel, a regular inline swivel, a chain swivel, it doesn't matter. Always make sure that you buy a swivel that has a pound test rating with it, okay? They're going to be a little better quality, and they're going to give, for me, it gives me a peace of mind. If I buy a 100-pound swivel and I'm using 50-pound main line, there's absolutely no reason that I should have any issues with that swivel before my main line breaks or my leader line breaks, okay? I have had questions. Some guys ask me, what size I use, what size I recommend, why I don't use bigger sizes. These are what I do with it. This is a 1/0. These come from Warrior Cat Tackle. You can go to their website. They got them on there. They're just a regular crane 3-way swivel. Okay, these are rating for 103 pounds. Now they do make some that are smaller for like I believe 80 or 70 pounds, and then they make some that are bigger as far as like 300 pounds. I don't, there's no reason to spend more money for that much of an overkill. 300 pounds is way overkill. If I'm using a swivel, I like it to be about double my main line. It's just a kind of like a mind thing. If I know this is double what my main line is, I'm pretty sure I'm not going to have too many issues. Okay. Now the reason I use crane swivels versus barrel swivels is, let me pull one out here if I got one. Okay. Now I have this hooked up for just a snap for my weight, but this is just a regular barrel swivel, just a brass barrel swivel. Okay. Normally these don't have a pound test rating, but if you leave them, no matter where they're at, whether they're in your tackle box or you leave them on your line, or no matter what you do, they always seem to corrode a little bit on the inside, and they'll end up having a little bit of snag, whenever you're spinning them. And if you have some of these in your tackle box, just go out and, pick them up and fill them, and you'll fill it. But if you go to a regular crane swivel and do the same thing, it's super smooth, okay? And whenever you're fishing, whether you're fishing current or just whatever, any style of fishing you want everything to be able to get unwrapped if it does happen to get wrapped up, or if it's in the current spinning, you don't want to get a bunch of line twist. So, good swivels are going to make a big difference in that. Was there any questions on swivels?
Somebody asked, and I didn't get their name. They were wondering which end does it matter which end the main line goes on.
Okay. The question was, does it matter which end the main line goes to? So something I always try to do is, if you can see, you kind of, wherever the you have the two connected, okay? Now that's normally where my main line goes, right there. Does it matter? I don't think it does, other than the fact of how it's pulling, okay? If you got your main line hooked to the long side, we'll call it the long side there. Seth Elmer. And your sinker or whatever's pulling this way, you're pulling against the two eyelets, okay? But if you got it hooked to here, then if something is pulling against this line here, you're pulling against the round part of the crane swivel, okay? So I always hook mine to where the two eyes go together, to that eyelet right there. And then I'll go either sinker here and main line here, or if I'm bumping, my sinker will be here and my leader line will be on the, and my fingers are really fat. I know you guys are probably having a tough time seeing them, but I'm trying. But so if I'm bumping, I want my main line to be in line with my sinker so I can feel everything real good. And then my leader line will come off of this one here.
What you're talking about there, Chris, Robert Wixom just brought up a really good point. The silica gel packets that that you get with cameras and stuff, those are really handy to keep in your tackle box there to keep the rust down.
They do, and that's a good point. And what was his name?
Robert Wixom.
Robert Wixom. I want to thank you for that, because a lot of the best tips are going to come from you all in the comment section. So make sure you guys are talking to each other. If you have an idea, if you have a tip for somebody, leave it in the comments. Like I said, a lot of the best tips and tricks are going to come from you guys that are listening as well, because I don't know everything, and I don't tell everybody that, but no, just kidding. I don't, and some of the best tips are going to come from you guys. So thank you for bringing that up. He said that the little silicone packs that you get, and a lot of different things. If you throw them in your tackle box, they'll absorb the moisture and you know, keep things from rusting.
And they actually were talking about don't eat the silica packs, but you know, if you want to eat them, go ahead, because natural selection will actually work.
Don't eat them.
River Cat wants to know, is there any other hooks that you use besides Daiichi?
No.
Right.
River Cat, you know, I've tried a bunch of different hooks, and so at one time I was using Daiichi and Charlie Brown hooks, and then I couldn't get the Charlie Brown hooks. You know, it was really hard to get them, and it was before they made the HDs, and it was the original Charlie Brown hooks. They was great hooks, and I still think they're great hooks, but you know, I couldn't get them, and I needed them, so I just stayed with Daiichi. They've been loyal to me and great hooks, and I have a ton of confidence in them no matter where I'm at. So that's.
Kevin Guthrie actually had a question for me. Want to know when my next video is going to be out. And as far as that goes, I don't know. I haven't been fishing in a bit, but I'll have one soon.
Get on him. Keep on him. If you guys do not know Harley Neal, who is, you know, he's not in the picture with me, but he's beside of me. There he is.
What's up?
He's got his channel. It's called Team Fish.
It's actually called Harley Neal. Just look me up.
Oh, okay.
Like that, yeah.
But that's his logo. He's got a sweet little logo.
I got a new logo, and it's better now. And
Yeah, it is.
yeah.
But Harley Neal, and make sure you look him up. He's got some good videos. Very entertaining, and
Got a couple with this guy.
we went out together a couple times on the Kanawha River. So make sure you look him up for that. Any more
Next
questions?
question, yeah, Mike Greenwell wants to know, if you go to a big fish fishery, do you go up a hook size?
So the question was, if I go to a big fish fishery, do I go up in hook size? No. I got 2 hooks, and this is the 5, and this is the 7. Okay, 7 is equal to most 8s. You know, every hook manufacturer. There's not a standard, which kind of drives me insane. I wish there was a standard for hooks, but each company will have their own standard. But that is a Daiichi D85, 7/0. No matter whether I'm fishing Mississippi, Wheeler, James River, Ohio River, if I'm fishing for, you know, bigger fish or even small flatheads, I mean, you know, that's the hook I'm going to. Now, for smaller fish or smaller baits, I put a 5 on. So, Mike, no, I never go up in hook size. I stay with that one right there, buddy.
Next question, Matt, and I can't even read my own writing. I think it's short. He wants to know what time you're going to be speaking at the seminar at the Columbus Fishing Show.
They actually had the dates wrong on the website, so he is changing it. But I told him I needed that to be able to tell you guys. So next Tuesday, I am hoping to have the information locked down as far as times. There is some times on the Columbus Fishing Expo, but I don't think they're exactly right. So I will make sure and get Dave and let you know next Tuesday.
Kentucky Catfishing asks, what's the best rig to drift with?
Kentucky Catfishing.
KY.
Kentucky Catfishing. What is the best rig to drift?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna take for granted you're talking about suspend drifting, and so suspend drifting. You know, I'm either going to use a Carolina style of rig, but instead of having a sinker slide, I want a like a no roll sinker or an egg sinker where the line will go through the sinker instead of having it hanging off of a sinker slider. Just it makes things a little bit neater. That is one. If you're fishing for truly just big fish only, or a Kentucky double hook rig, if you're fishing for all different sizes of fish, or you want to fish throughout different places in the water column until you find out where they're at.
Josh Richards wants to know if you have your own signature fishing rod.
What's his name?
Josh Richards.
Josh Richards. Josh Richards. No, I don't have my own signature fishing rod. I use Warrior Cat tackle, Warrior Cat rods. I use the medium heavies, and the heavies. So no, I don't have my own signature fishing rod, but never know. Maybe in the future, we'll keep working, keep doing this. You never know what could happen. If the opportunity arises, we will see how it comes, see what comes of it.
Mr. Gadget Catfish wants to know if you plan on going to the Catfish Conference. Who's not going?
Oh, yeah. Actually, we just booked our rooms last night. We'll be down there the whole weekend. I'm taking my wife, my little girl that you've seen. We'll be, man, I just can't wait. February 22nd, 23rd, and 24th, right?
That sounds right.
And, man, I can't wait. I can't say enough good things about, what Steve has done with the Catfish Conference. Steve Douglas is, everybody on here should know Steve Douglas, Monster Rod Holders. What he's done in the catfishing community or in catfishing industry is amazing, and kudos for him. And if you can, come down to the Catfish Conference in February, support everybody that's going to be there. There's Tackle Bandit to be there, Warrior Cat Tackle, TWC, Big Cat Fever, Extreme Bait Systems. If you guys are going to be looking for a good shad tank, I know a lot of people ask me about shad, keeping shad, how to catch shad. If you guys want a good tank to start from, and trust me, from this, I have spent an enormous amount of time and money trying to build my own tanks to keep shad, and you can, in certain situations, be successful with doing that and a cheaper route. But if you spend the money right off the bat, you're going to set yourself up for success, and they are actually going to have a good deal on their tanks down there. If you buy a tank there, you can either get a extreme cutting board for free, or they will knock $100 off of the oxygen box, which is a new box, small. It's like 4 by 10 inches, and it is a portable aeration system, filtering system for any live well. So if you guys are thinking about tournament fishing, last week we talked about tournament fishing. That is something you guys want to think about a lot, is keeping those fish healthy and alive. And those oxygen boxes, those are a good way to keep yourself, ahead of the game. And it's a good way to get a bundle together and get yourself ready for tournament season.
Just throwing this out there for what it's worth. Roger the man in chat just said that he was a stalker, so. Okay, Roger. Moving right along, Mike Kenner wants to know where you can buy your signature Demon Dragons.
Okay, so the Slender Cat, Mike, Mike was asking where to buy the Slender Cat Edition Demon Dragons. Go to tacklebandit.com. They have them there. They shouldn't be out of stock. He was supposed to be ordering some more soon. And that's demondragons.com, I believe. But Tackle Bandit for sure. Soon, the Slender Cat Outdoors, slendercat.fish website will be up, and you will be able to kind of go to my website if there's anything that you want that I use, and you personally just want to take a look at it or buy it or purchase it or whatever, or just see the details on it. It will be on that website with direct links to make it easier for you guys that follow me and want to try anything that I recommend.
Let's see. Seth Allen wants to know if you ever flash freeze shad.
Yes, that's a
Seth Allen.
Seth asked, do I ever flash freeze shad? And so I talk about shad a lot. I talk about shad with a lot of people. To me, a dead shad, for every second that shad is dead, is that much more worthless. Okay, but there is times where things can change that a little bit, and one of these things is flash freezing shad. Okay, and it's probably if I'm channel cat fishing, I will do it. If it's wintertime fishing, I will do it. Or if something happens and my tank is broke down or something, and I want to make sure that I'm keeping those as fresh as I can, I will flash freeze them. And what he means by flash freezing is you take a cooler, small cooler, big cooler, however you want. You fill it up with ice, just about to the top, and then you will dump a lot of salt. And I use the same salt that I use for my tanks and anything non-iodized, like pickling salt, water softener salt, something like that. Catch the shad, or you put some water in there to where you can just barely start pushing the ice down and get your hands in and mix that up, and it makes a big solution slurry. And then whenever you catch your shad or skipjack or whatever you're catching that you want to do that to, you just shove them straight in there. It shocks them. It kind of instead of letting them die from not getting oxygen or anything, it's just you're straight putting them in there, shocking them, and it kind of freezes their whole their whole body core temperature and everything, kind of holds everything where it was at, and it's going to keep your bait a little bit fresher longer. But and that's a have to situation, or if I'm channel catfishing, something like that.
There's a ton more questions, but we're getting about out of time here. But let's see, Tackling Cats wants to know if you're going to sign his hat when he comes down to the Catfish
Absolutely,
Conference.
yeah,
Okay.
absolutely, yeah. Willie, I will sign any hat you or anybody else brings down that wants me to. I love meeting people. I love to talk, as you guys know, and we are at 30 minutes, but this is going good. I haven't given the hat and stuff away yet.
Oh, yeah.
So, I'm not going to stop. We're just going to keep going. So let's get another question. What's the?
Well, I'll just close down all my stuff right here, so maybe you can.
Okay, so this is the way we're going to do the hat. This is going to be a test for the people that watched the show last week. And let me see the pencil. I'm going to write it down. I'm going to write the answer down on this piece of paper. So you guys don't think I'm just saying it. And last week in the show, we went over a question that was, on average, how much do tournaments cost? Okay, and I kind of went through, what it cost me. And so what was the answer on average that a tournament cost me or would cost somebody else? The first person that says it, and it is
Isaac Dugan.
it was and there's a lot of people getting it right. So who was it?
I saw Isaac Dugan was the first one I saw.
So Harley's gonna look.
Isaac Dugan.
Isaac. Okay, Isaac Dugan. And so you guys can see. Flip that over there. $1,000. Isaac, somehow or another, whether it be Messenger, Facebook, however, give me your contact information and your address, and I'll send that out to you, buddy. Thank you for playing, and thank you for watching.
Send a sludge or two, but
Question. Was there any more questions?
I'm just getting caught up. What are your favorite places to catch a bait? Harold Bolton asks. Michael Bolton's brother.
Harold Bolton. What is my favorite places to catch bait? Is that what it is? Whenever it comes to shad, this time of year, and this is something I'm going to try to do another Friday viewer video and do it more in depth. But we'll talk about this time of year real quick. As far as shad goes, you backwaters, creeks, things like that. Anywhere that they can, if they need to, they can get into deeper water. But as the sun comes up, as the water temperature raises a little bit, maybe it's just 1 degree. It doesn't have to be much. They can come up into those shallow flats, marinas, backwaters, coves, things like that. So, those are good areas to catch gizzard shad right this time of year. And one thing I want to stress on is we've had a lot of rain, and that has changed things a little bit. A lot of times you can find them in feeder creeks, but keep in mind, if that feeder creek is flooded out, those shad are not going to be up in there. They're either going to be in a swirl or an eddy hole outside of the mouth of that creek, or if there's a big drop off outside of it, they might be out hanging on that drop off instead of up in that creek if it's getting washed out from the flood waters.
Matt Shorts wants to know if you're going to have merchandise up at the Columbus Fishing Expo.
I'm not sure about that. I'm gonna try to. It depends on if I can work something out with another individual. So hopefully I will. I'll try to make you guys get you guys answers for that for next week for sure. But if I can, I'll get times and find out for that.
Josh Richards says, "What's your favorite season to fish?"
Oh, that's easy. That's springtime. Who was Josh Richards?
Josh Richards.
Josh Richards asked, "What is my favorite time to fish? Favorite time of the year to fish? That's spring, and it's come around close. The flatheads really turn on. They come out of their wintering holes. They got an attitude. They got an empty belly. They're getting ready to do their pre-spawn and spawn stuff, and it is on. You can catch them. You can catch high numbers. It's your best chance to catch big females that break personal bests and just make great memories. So if you guys are wanting a great opportunity to get out on the water, once that water temperature starts reaching that 60-degree mark, it can be and will be phenomenal. So springtime."
Brian Wagner asked, "Do you do a lot of night fishing?"
No. Brian Wagner asked, "Do I do a bunch of night fishing?" No, I don't. I don't mind night fishing, but I like to see what I'm doing. I have just as good of success, fishing during the day. Now, when it gets super, super, super hot, I will go to night fishing, or if we get some time of year when boaters, boat traffic, pleasure boaters start, I will kind of switch to night fishing a little bit, but normally, I'm a daytime fisherman. And I like my sleep, so I sleep at night.
When's the best time to catch skipjack? Clarence Payton asked that one.
Clarence Payton asked, "When is the best time to catch skipjack?" Well, Clarence, it really depends on where you're at. Here in our local area, you're local to me. Greenup Dam, Robert C. Byrd Dam. This is on the High River. Winfield, which is on the Kanawha River. Those areas, Markland Dam, places like that are going to be in that May, springtime area, maybe late April or mid-April, depending on how early our spring comes. Things like that. Now, Alabama, they come up much quicker for people that are watching from the Tennessee River chain. You can expect to start catching skipjack, in the March area, March time of the year. And there's a lot of times, like right now, they're still catching skipjack on the lower Tennessee River. So normally there's always some place to catch skipjack. In the wintertime, a lot of people will go to steam plants, Cumberland City. There's, I believe there's one in Kingston. I've never fished it before, so I don't know for sure about it. But places like that, as far as skipjack go. For anybody around the tri-state area, when I say tri-state area, I'm talking about, Huntington, Ashland, West Virginia, Kentucky, Ohio area. Look up John Newell, and he's got regular Duke bait, premium bait. He catches skipjack, sells them at the tackle box down in South Point, and he also sells them personally. But you can look up his YouTube channel. It's called J Newell Zero, regular Duke fishing, regular Duke premium baits. Look up him.
One of the hardest working dudes on the water.
He is wow. For everybody out there, you guys know how hard it is catching bait, and to be a bait supplier like he does and catch bait, and sell bait, it's hard work. It's hard work, and them and Big Cat Bait Company, they also sell bait to a lot of places, so Major Brown, I don't know if he ships bait or not. I don't think he does, but you can always contact him, and he may be going after a bunch of skipjack and be able to come back and meet you somewhere and set something up like that. So get a hold of him.
Mike Kenner wants to know if you do any fishing this time of the year.
Mike Keener, absolutely. This is one of my favorite times of the year. I'm starting to get to where I don't like it as much because it's cold and you know, I just, as I get older, I can't handle the cold as much, no matter what I put on. But I love this time of year. There's nobody hardly on the river. There's more people starting to winter fish. Blue cats stack up this time of year, and you know, if you find them, you can absolutely get on them and just and really catch a lot of good fish. You know, so this time of year, absolutely. As long as I can get in somewhere and I can catch bait, I fish.
Logan Miners wants to know, what's your PB?
My personal best is not. I mean, it's big. I'm proud of it. But there's many bigger fish. But it's 72 for blue cat and 50 pounds for flathead.
So I thought your flathead PB this year.
Yeah.
How about
Yeah.
that? So that's on my channel too. Let's see here. Josh Hernandez wanted to know if you're fishing Cabela's. You covered that all on last week's show. He can go to
Josh,
your
who was it?
Josh Hernandez.
Josh Hernandez. No. He asked if I was going to be fishing the Cabela's Trail this year. I'm not. I'm really enjoying doing these videos. Really enjoying getting to meet people. You know, and teach people. I've talked to a few guys. I talked to a guy from out west this week, and you know, he and all of you really genuinely want to learn, and I can go out and I can catch fish, and I love to catch fish and have a good time. I love catching big fish, but being able to teach you guys, you know, how to go out and how to catch those fish and enjoy it, and get your kids and your grandkids out there and doing it, that's what I want to do, and that gives me a lot of joy to be able to do that. So I'm not going to fish as many tournaments this year, and I'm going to kind of step away from it and you know, try to do more videos. I'm going to do some bigger tournaments, and you know, really you know, try to get as many of you all out there watching me on the biggest fish of your life.
Roger DeMant asked in chat a little while ago if there's going to be another angler hangout this year, and John Knoll just jumped in, and I think there's talk. John, if you're out there, give us any info that you got on the angler hangout this year.
So last year, if you guys didn't know, John Newell, myself, Steve Douglas was there, Harley Neal. There were several other people there. We done a thing called the Angler Hangout, and it was in South Point, Ohio at the Tackle Box. I had a good time, met a lot of good people. And John and I talked earlier this week, and we're going to do it again this year. It looks like it's going to be towards the end of March.
Good.
And
warmer.
Yeah, you know, hopefully the weather will pan out. We're going to try to, and it's not going to be nothing extravagant, nothing big. We're just going to go. We're going to hang out. We're going to talk about catfishing and fishing in general, and you know, I'm hoping there's some food there because last year there wasn't no food, but I'm hungry. I'm always hungry. I love to eat, so I'm gonna try to get some food there this year, and I'm just gonna have a good time. You know, there's nothing better than going out and meeting people and talking catfishing, having a good time. So, what's next?
That's about all I got right now.
That's about it. Well, we have been at this for 43 minutes. All right. So,
you can give away that here. How about I just scroll through chat and pick a name? Somebody.
No,
okay.
No, that's too easy.
You always disagree with me.
This is Harley just wanted to scroll through and land on somebody to see who wins. But you know, I'm trying to teach people stuff. So once again, we're going to do a test. And if you win once, what I'm going to do is if you win once on the show, even if you know the answer to it, I'm going to ask that you don't give somebody else an opportunity. So, Isaac, you're out on this one, buddy. So, my question is, and we've talked about this many, many times, what is the number and letter to this right here? And Harley, you can't win because you're in here. So the first person that puts it up in the chat, of the letter and numbers to this
Brian Wagner.
is the winner of the catfish.
Brian Wagner.
Was he the first one?
Yeah.
Brian Wagner. Hit me up somewhere. Get a hold of my, give me some contact somewhere I can mail this to, and we'll get out to you. That baby is nice. Look at that. Look at that. If you guys don't know Catfish, go look them up. It's a veteran, and they do a lot of things.
Funny thing is nobody spelled Daiichi because you can't spell it.
Yeah. I should have said the first person that spells Daiichi right. If you're wondering, it's Daiichi.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you got his name wrote down?
Yeah, I'm going through here just a second.
So, all right, we've been at this went a little bit longer tonight. Oh, wait a minute, we still gotta give decals. All right. Let's see. How are we gonna do this one?
How about my personal best this year? How much you want?
Well, I tell you what. This one we're gonna do regularly. Just
scroll through and punch the name.
Yeah.
All right. And up we go, and there's the name Harold Bolton.
Harold
Bolton.
Harold Bolton. Got yourself. Got him upside down. 2 Slender Cat decals that'll be coming to you. Once again, make sure if you guys won tonight, get me your address so I can send that stuff out to you, and I will get it out to you ASAP. So if there's no more questions tonight, like always, make sure you leave your questions in the comments and the ones that we didn't get answered tonight, and the questions from past. We will continue to do these every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on Slender Cat Outdoors. I want to thank you all for joining me. I want to thank Harley for helping me out. That was that was easy for him to be able to see the questions, and I think that we was able to cover a lot more information that way, and that's what it's all about. So till next weekend or next Tuesday, you all have a good one. Get out on the water, try to catch fish, be safe, and God bless.